People are making $2,000 to $5,000 a month reselling stuff on eBay, things they found at garage sales, thrift stores, and estate sales for next to nothing. No special skills required, no boss, no schedule, just knowing what to look for and how to sell it right. And the barrier to entry is as low as $50 and a free afternoon. Here's the full playbook. Welcome to Off-Clock Hustle. Reselling is one of the oldest side hustles on the planet, and it's still one of the most effective because the fundamentals never change. Buy something for less than it's worth, sell it for more, keep the difference. eBay is the largest resale marketplace in the world. Over 130 million active buyers who are specifically there looking for used goods, vintage items, parts, and deals they can't find on Amazon. For certain categories, eBay is the only place serious buyers look, and those categories are where the real money is. Today I'm walking you through the complete reselling playbook: where to source inventory, what to buy, how to price it, how to list it so it actually sells, and what separates the people making $500 a month from the ones making $5,000 a month. Let's go. Not everything sells equally on every platform. eBay has specific strengths where it dominates, and if you focus your sourcing in these categories, you'll move inventory faster and at better margins. Electronics and parts are eBay's bread and butter. Old laptops, previous generation game consoles, smartphones, cables, adapters, circuit boards, and specialty parts that you can't easily find in retail stores. eBay buyers specifically come here when they need electronics they can't find on Amazon, older models, replacement parts, bulk lots. Thrift stores frequently price electronics based on cosmetic appearance, with no knowledge of whether they work or what they're actually worth on the secondary market. That ignorance is your opportunity. Vintage and collectibles is eBay's heritage market. Trading cards, coins, vintage toys, sports memorabilia, vintage clothing from specific decades, vinyl records, vintage electronics, antiques. This is where eBay was built and where its buyer base is most active and most loyal. A vintage Star Wars figure in original packaging that sells for $8 at an estate sale can legitimately go for $80 to $200 on eBay. Auto parts through eBay Motors is a massive, often overlooked category. Salvage parts pulled from junked cars, trim pieces, mirrors, interior components for older model vehicles. These sell consistently because people with older cars can't find parts at local stores and specifically search eBay Motors for what they need. If you know cars or have access to salvage sources, this niche is excellent. Tools and equipment. Used power tools, hand tools, specialty equipment. Tradespeople and serious hobbyists buy used tools on eBay constantly. A used DeWalt drill set from a thrift store for $20 can sell for $85 to $120 on eBay. Brand name clothing and outerwear. Designer and premium outdoor brands sell consistently. Patagonia, Arc'teryx, Levi's, Carhartt, Nike, Adidas Retro, North Face. These brands hold resale value strongly. Picking Patagonia fleece from a Goodwill bin for $8 and selling it for $65 on eBay is a real, repeatable transaction. What to avoid early. Fragile items with high shipping damage risk. Anything requiring expert authentication you can't provide. And categories where margins after fees and shipping are razor thin. Sourcing is the skill that separates the people making real money from the people spinning their wheels. The goal is always the same: find the gap between what something costs locally and what eBay buyers will pay for it. Thrift stores are the bread and butter of most resellers. Goodwill, Salvation Army, local independent thrift stores. Shop them consistently. The best pickers visit their target stores multiple times a week and learn their restock schedules. Tuesday morning at the Goodwill on Maple Street might be when the best electronics come out. Know your stores and your timing. Estate sales are often the richest source for vintage electronics, tools, collectibles, and memorabilia. Everything in a lifetime of belongings is priced to move over a single weekend. Estatesales.net is the primary directory. Arrive early. Often the first hour determines whether you find the gems. Some estate sales offer early access passes for a small fee. Frequently worth it. Garage and yard sales are unpredictable, but can be exceptional. The Yard Sale Treasure Map app aggregates local listings so you can plan an efficient Saturday morning route. The early bird gets the inventory here. Facebook Marketplace is where you buy locally and sell nationally. Items priced for local buyers, people who want something gone this weekend, are often dramatically underpriced relative to what a motivated eBay buyer across the country will pay for the same item. A vintage camera listed for $30 on Facebook Marketplace might sell for $180 on eBay to someone who specifically collects that model. Liquidation sources, B-stock, bulk, and direct liquidation sell customer returns and shelf pull merchandise in pallets and lots. Higher upfront investment and more complex to sort, but consistent supply of merchandise at below wholesale prices. This is how resellers scale volume. Free sections of Craigslist and Facebook. People give away items worth real money constantly. A free couch that needs cleaning. Free tools from a garage cleanout. Check the free sections daily and you'll be surprised what shows up. Research before you buy, always. Before purchasing anything to resell, pull up eBay on your phone and look at sold listings, not active listings. Active listings show what people are asking. Sold listings show what people are actually paying. These numbers are often dramatically different. Never guess and never assume. This research takes 2 minutes per item and prevents the most common expensive mistake in reselling. Listing best practices. Title. Include the brand, model, key specifications, and all relevant search terms a buyer might use. eBay search is entirely keyword-driven. A weak title, old Sony camera, gets 0 impressions. A strong title, Sony Cybershot DSC RX100 SEV 20.1 megapixel compact camera bundle, excellent condition, shows up in every relevant search. Every character in your title is searchable. Use all 80 characters. Photos, 12 photos minimum. Good natural lighting, all angles, any cosmetic flaws clearly visible and photographed specifically. Buyers on eBay buy without physically seeing the item. Thorough, honest photography builds trust and dramatically reduces returns and disputes. Listings with clear photos consistently outperform listings with one blurry photo. Condition disclosure. Be completely honest. Any scratches, dents, missing pieces, or functionality issues need to be in the description. Surprises lead to returns, negative feedback, and chargebacks, all of which cost you money and damage your seller rating. Shipping. For most categories, offering free shipping, with the cost built into your price, increases your visibility in eBay's algorithm and increases buyer conversion. Calculate accurate shipping costs before pricing so you're not losing money on the back end. Pricing strategy. Price 10 to 15% above your true floor to give yourself negotiating room. A large percentage of eBay buyers send best offer on any reasonably priced listing. Let them negotiate down to your acceptable minimum. You get the sale, they feel like they got a deal. eBay fees vary by category, but typically run 12 to 15% of the final sale price. Factor this in before you set your selling price, not after. Shipping math matters. If you're offering free shipping, weigh and measure your items before listing and run them through eBay's shipping calculator to confirm your costs. Losing $8 on shipping on a $25 sale wrecks your margin. Simple profit formula. Sale price me, newest eBay fees, 13% average, minus shipping cost minus sourcing cost equals profit. Real example. You find a vintage 35mm film camera at an estate sale for $18. You research sold listings and see comparable cameras selling for $151 and $35. You list yours at $25. It sells. eBay fees, $16.25. Shipping, $14. Your net $77 on an $18 investment. That's a 4x return on a single item. Multiply that by 10 to 20 items per weekend, and you're looking at real money. On taxes, consistent reselling income is business income. Track everything. What you paid for each item, your eBay fees, shipping costs, mileage driven to source inventory, supplies. Business expenses are deductible. If you're making $500 or more a month, get organized now rather than scrambling at tax time. Specialize. The most successful long-term resellers niche down hard. They become the expert in vintage cameras, or Carhartt workwear, or a specific generation of gaming consoles, or vintage Levi's denim. Specialization means you can source faster, evaluate quality faster, price accurately, and build a seller reputation with buyers who come back specifically for what you offer. Systematize your workflow. Photograph items in batches in one session. Write listing descriptions using templates you customize per item. Process shipments daily in one batch. The per item time drops dramatically as systems replace individual decisions. eBay Store subscription reduces your per listing fees and your final value fee percentages. It pays for itself once you're listing 50 plus items regularly. Track every item in a spreadsheet: what you paid, what it sold for, your fees, your shipping cost, your net profit. Most people who don't track are shocked when they calculate their actual margins. Know your numbers on every single item. eBay Reselling. Focus on categories with strong buyer demand that match your sourcing access. Find the gap between local prices and what eBay buyers will pay nationally. Research every item before you buy it. List with thorough photos, keyword-rich titles, and honest condition descriptions. Track your profit on every transaction. The sellers making real money aren't doing anything magical. They're disciplined, systematic, and consistent. That's accessible to anyone. Start with $50. Find something worth more. List it. Sell it. Reinvest. That's the whole game. Every seller on eBay has a feedback score, and that score determines whether buyers trust you enough to purchase. New sellers with zero feedback have a harder time closing sales and often have to price lower to compensate. Sellers with 200 plus positive feedback ratings and a 99 plus rating close at higher prices and faster velocities. Build your feedback intentionally from the start. Ship quickly, same day or next day if possible. Pack items carefully so they arrive undamaged. Describe condition accurately. If there's any issue, resolve it immediately and generously. One negative feedback from a poor transaction experience can haunt your conversion rate for months. Ask buyers to leave feedback after every successful transaction. Most eBay buyers don't leave feedback unless asked. A simple note in your shipment: "Thanks for your purchase. If everything looks great, we'd really appreciate a 5-star feedback review. It helps our small business." This alone will double your feedback collection rate. With a solid feedback reputation, you'll notice buyers choosing your listing over a competitor's identical item because they trust you more. That trust premium is worth real money over hundreds of transactions. Shipping is where a lot of new eBay resellers lose money they didn't plan to lose. Here's how to avoid the most common mistakes. Always weigh and measure your items before listing. Don't guess on dimensions. A package that's 1 inch larger than estimated can jump shipping price categories and wipe out your profit margin. Buy a postal scale, $15 on Amazon, and measure everything before you set a price. Use eBay's shipping calculator accurately. eBay's listing flow has a shipping calculator. Enter the item's dimensions and weight, and it gives you accurate carrier rates. Use this for every listing. Never use flat rate guessing. Poly mailers for clothing, bubble mailers for small items, boxes for anything fragile. Buy packaging supplies in bulk from suppliers like Uline or the USPS free priority mailboxes. Buying packaging at the post office every time costs significantly more per shipment. Factor shipping into your pricing. Many buyers filter eBay search results by free shipping. Offering free shipping, with the cost baked into your listing price, often generates more buyer interest and faster sales than separate shipping fees, especially for items under $30. Ship on time, always. eBay tracks your shipping performance metrics. Consistently shipping within your stated handling time keeps your seller metrics in good standing. Sellers who miss shipping deadlines frequently get visibility penalties in eBay's search algorithm. Are you already reselling? What's your go-to category? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear what niches people are crushing right now. Subscribe to Off Clock Hustle for more side hustle breakdowns every week. See you next time. Script 2 for Off Clock Hustle. eBay Reselling.